Not everybody gets this kind of treatment.
Really?
You are a bit of a mystery. I mean, I'm just going to read out some of the titles that I've heard applied to you. Deputy God. That's a good one. The most powerful civil servant you've never heard of, or the most powerful woman in Britain. Do you recognise those titles?
They obviously relate to my former job. The Deputy God title was that I worked for Gus O'Donnell, and his initials are God. And so I was his deputy, and therefore I was Deputy God. Most powerful person you've never heard of, I actually was just doing my job. And I think that was, some of your journalist colleagues probably actually devised that.
But I suppose the mystery around you, this is the first interview you've ever done. You were the Director General of the Propriety and Ethics team at the Cabinet, and it said you did have the power to make or break political careers, and that is exactly what you did.
So I would always have just given my advice to the Prime Minister, and it was obviously always the Prime Minister's decision. But the job I was doing then was very different to the job I do now, and I don't necessarily recognise all that you're saying about me. I'm not actually sure many permanent secretaries in Whitehall have run a pub in Newry.
And you were with your husband in that venture, of course.
And he was not very good at it.
He wasn't?
No. So he hated the pub, and actually most of the customers didn't like him either because he was quite miserable in it. He, after 6 to 8 weeks, it was making him a bit fed up. So I sent him back to London, and I carried on running the bar on my own. Whenever he was back, when he would come back for a short time, I would make sure that I booked him to sing and play music in the bar on a Thursday and Saturday night, and that went down quite well. But as for his bar skills, they're not the best. I think I felt I was being a bit pigeonholed in Whitehall in a particular role, so I thought do something very, very different, and that's what I did. I did go for the head of the civil service job, and I really wanted that job. So I'm going to be completely honest, I was disappointed not to get the job. I really wanted the job, but had to get over it. Why didn't I get the job? I'm not sure I'll ever quite know, but I suspect people may have thought that I am perhaps too much of a challenger or a disruptor. I am both. And perhaps I would bring about, there's going to be too much change. And yes, I wanted to have change.
Do you think, you obviously thought the civil service needed change?
Yeah, and it needed change.
I've even had someone put it to me that you were a spy.
I know you've had that put to you. I think if I was a spy, I'd be a pretty poor spy if people are talking about me being a spy.
Well,